AITA for not wanting my uncle's wife to attend my birthday dinner. Okay, so this is gonna be a short one, but my birthday is coming up in a week, and I am turning 24. This past Thanksgiving, everyone in my family drove over an hour to my cousin's house to celebrate. It was fun, and everybody had a good time. I ended up leaving pretty early on before everyone else since I just didn't want to be home late. We all had a couple drinks but not enough to be a danger, until my mom got home and tells me what had happened with my uncle 39 meters. My uncle's wife 36F, let's call her Jess, had drank too much and ended up starting a fight with him, and he eventually hopped out of the car and started to walk on the side of the highway, which resulted in my mom picking him on the side of the road. All of this started because of the amount of alcohol Jess had drank. Keep in mind there was 2 kids in the back, Abby 2F and Adeline 7 months, in the back of the car. Here's where I might be the R. I asked my aunt 36F if I could celebrate at her house cause I didn't want to deal with my uncle and Jess, simply because of Jess and her carelessness, and I don't want to invite either Jess or my uncle, as I just want this to be a carefree birthday for me. But here's the thing, my mom was not supposed to tell me this at all, so if I don't invite either of them, this could fire back on my mom and get her in trouble. What do I do?
AITA for swatting my cat back. Sometimes my cat can get really aggressive for no discernible reason, or reasons that don't include me specifically pissing him off. For example, the other day I was petting him while in bed, and then went back to looking at my phone. It was dark so I couldn't see him gear up at all, so suddenly he smacked my face hard and drew blood. Other times he'll get angry if I don't immediately go and sit down with him to eat, or don't let him go outside, and he attacks my legs. Sometimes he does it once or twice, but other times it'll be relentless. I don't swat him every time he throws a fit, but when he genuinely hurts me and is using way too much force, I will lightly bap him on his nose, or scruff him. I don't pick him up by the scruff, just hold so he can't bite me. My logic is that cats communicate like cats, and so I should level with him and communicate like a cat. I do this in other ways too. I'll often make KK noises akin to hisses to discourage him from bad behaviors, and he often responds well and knows what it means. I do another noise to call him to come, etc. And I feel that if I were a fellow cat, I'd swat back, so I do, always making sure to give less than equal strength to what he gives to me. I decided to make this post of my own volition because I still feel bad when I do it. Every once in a while I may swat him or shove him away too hard, and I'll get so upset at myself I'll cry. Edit. I realize this may violate a rule, as my cat is not a person and I have not been called an asshole for it by another person, but, person shrugging emoji.
Whoops for not getting my cousin's 40-ish side of the story. A few weeks ago, I 24F found out my cousin M 40-ish F is not coming to Thanksgiving, but her son 15M is coming. I didn't think much about it till her sister, a 40-ish oldest sister, was being overly polite to her in the family GC. So, today I got a call from cousin A 40-ish about a holiday gift for her, and I made the mistake of asking if they were fighting. A was like, not really, I have just given up with him. I don't hate her, but I am not going out of my way anymore. It would have been fine there, but they talks a lot. She started going on about how in every situation M makes A the issue even when she's not. Stay with me, I know it's a lie. One incident stuck out to me, M bashing A on Facebook during 2020. I always fact check A because A has been known to sometimes manipulate the truth of it. So I went to Facebook to find the post. I found it, or like what was left of it, just like a hidden post that you can only see the comments on. M had blocked certain people from seeing the post. I hate that they are acting like this, it's silly and immature. But that being said, would I be the asshole if I side with them this? I feel like I might be because I didn't even talk to him. I just kinda looked at her Facebook and decided, for those of you telling me to mind my own business or whatever, you're right. However, I had already been involved from Easter because in M's eyes it made the whole family not go to Easter at her house because she told everyone that a strange guy was going to be there. Then on Halloween, M was left out of going to the store with us. I only asked admittedly because I was being nosy, but also because I love my cousins and I wanted to make sure she was mad for a good reason.
Wibta if I want to spend the money on myself instead of my brother. I'm currently studying in a public university, and I'm about to receive a scholarship that includes a significant amount of money. My father wants me to give this money to help pay for my brother's tuition, but I want to use it to upgrade my computer, which I really need for school. The reason I don't want the money to go to my brother's tuition is because of his history. He's 1 year ahead of me, but he should have graduated 2 years ago. In his first year of college, he failed all his subjects, and my parents paid a large amount with no results. He repeated the year, but failed again. And again my parents paid a lot. While his peers moved on to their second year, he was still stuck in his first. He later shifted to another program and barely passed, but continued to cause a lot of stress for my parents because of his behavior. Then, he got into serious trouble, and my parents decided he should stop studying. Last year, he didn't study and tried to work different jobs, but none lasted. Now he has resumed his studies again. In the past, my parents used to pay his tuition through one-time payments, which were cheaper overall. But because they're afraid of losing a large amount of money if he fails again, they now pay his tuition monthly instead, even though it ends up costing more in the long run. They're trying to minimize losses in case he drops out again. My brother has already drained my parents' savings and caused a lot of disappointment, and I want to help ease their burden, but I'm afraid that giving him my scholarship money will just be wasted, based on his track record. Meanwhile, upgrading my computer would directly help with my education and future. So, WIBTA if I want to spend it on myself instead?
My mom called. I think my life is about to change forever. I just needed to say this somewhere while I wait for my wife. I 40F just got a call from my mom. My dad 65 has been very unwell. My mom asked me to come over and emphasized bringing my wife. She said both of us have to go as soon as we can. I am now waiting for my wife to come pick me up. I am really close to my dad. He has been battling some bad health stuff that was always terminal for a couple years. I am pretty sure this is going to be the he is gone notification. My dad has been with it and understanding all of it. I last saw him on Thanksgiving. He said some nice things to my wife and I hugged him before I left that day, and we were planning a family movie night for tomorrow. I am a shaking mess with that horrible something is wrong flutter feeling in my chest. I feel like my world is about to change forever. I am terrified and the waiting is bothering me. I am sorry and thank you. I just really needed to say this all. It feels cruel to call or text a friend, especially since I don't know for sure. Thank you for reading. I just really needed to say it.
AITA for not saying something to my friend. I am 21F and my friend is 23F. I have known her since I've been around 8. She has PCOS and it causes ton of weight gain. She also has no neck visible. When I was dating my ex, he would call her no neck and point out her flaws. Eventually I did leave him. I never told her what was said. When I was friends with this one girl, she would call her frog or ugly. Anytime she saw her, she'd yell frog as loud as possible. Again, I never mentioned the full story to her. At the beginning of this year I started seeing this guy. When he met her, he was extremely nice to her face. Once she walked out that door, he instantly started. She's a creature. I've never seen someone so ugly in my whole life. She can't be human. I told him it wasn't nice. She can't help it. He does bring it up once in a while, but he's a lot more nice about it. I've lied to her about why he doesn't want to talk to her. I know it's wrong, but I can't help it. Recently I moved in with a family friend. She is 39F. She owns a Great Dane. He doesn't growl or bark very often. Whenever she's in the house he will growl at her. That was enough for her to dislike her. After meeting her, my friend had to go home. We were sitting next to each other and she mentioned that she just couldn't stop staring at her chin and how she has no neck. She said she felt bad but she couldn't help it. I explained to her what my BF had said and she started laughing and saying that's what I was thinking. She eventually got everything out. I explained to her about the PCOS. I never mentioned anything to my friend and it's been a while since it happened. My roommate even yelled creature when my BF was visiting. So AITA for not telling her what's being said?
Am I wrong for arguing with my boss? First of all, thank you anybody who replies to such a silly little thing. As someone who has let people walk over her whole life and has very few friends, family to talk to, I just need to understand if I really was the one who was in the wrong. Here's the situation. I work in retail as assistant manager in a small business. 3 weeks ago I knew I wouldn't be able to make it into work on a specific day as I rely on being dropped off. Knew I wouldn't be able to get picked up that afternoon, so I asked ahead of time if I could have that day off. Manager agreed. Great. Sorted. Comes to the day before I'm meant to be off, I double check with the worker who's meant to be covering me. Said they were never asked not coming in. Great. Good thing I checked, as shop wouldn't even be open if I hadn't. I knew my manager was having a massive family dinner, so didn't want to bother them and sent a message explaining situation. Explained that it was sorted and that I would be coming in to cover the day now. Costing me money now to also get a taxi home, though I didn't say that in my text. Manager calls that day and proceeds to tell me it's my fault. Explains that they told me to double check the cover, not something I recall. Fed up at this point, I pointed out that they were the manager and it wasn't on me to check these things. Didn't like that they then told me, well, it's not on me to be ringing the shop on my day off, and proceeded to hang up on me. I'm a bit lost, to be honest. I don't think I'm in the wrong, but I'd like an outsider's opinion. Was it my fault that I didn't check my shift was covered when they said it had been sorted? Shouldn't the cover themselves let me know they would not be coming in? Am I crazy? Many thanks from a troubled soul.
AITA for refusing to be my family's 24/7 problem solver just because I'm the young one who knows things. I 23 swear my family has decided that because I'm the youngest adult, I automatically know how to fix everything, not just tech everything. Last week my cousin 26F called saying her phone won't turn on. I told her to hold the power button. She said, I did. I get there. She held the volume button for 20 minutes straight. While I'm fixing that, my Aunt 44F goes, since you're already here, can you help me with my laptop? It's not working. She had the charger plugged into the wall but not the laptop. Then my mom 58F pops her head in like, can you set up my new Roku real quick? 45 minutes of her asking why everything needs a password. At this point I told them, I don't mind helping sometimes, but you all call me for every little thing. I can't keep driving over here every day for problems you all can Google. They all got offended immediately. My aunt said I changed. My cousin said I don't care about family. My mom said I always have an attitude when people ask for help. My grandma hit me with the classic, you young folks think you too good for your own family. Now apparently I'm selfish because I drew a boundary. I told them I'll help with real problems, but not constant emergencies that aren't emergencies. Now everyone's passive aggressive and my mom said, don't worry, I'll just wait until you feel like helping, which somehow feels worse.
AITA for blocking a car and that was parked in my tandem parking spot and pressing charges when the person keyed my car. I have a tandem parking spot for more apartment. The other day, I came home to find someone in the inner spot of the tandem. When I tried to call a tow for the car, the tow company said they need authorization from the complex manager, but it was a Sunday, so he wasn't in office. So I parked in the other spot, blocking the other car in. When I went to head to work the next day I found my car heavily keyed. Despite the complex manager advising against it, and not wanting to tow the car, I called the cops to report the vandalism and they made the property manager tow the car that was in my spot. Today, I met with the complex manager, one of my neighbors who I had never met, and her friend whose car I had towed. I was berated for towing the car and then pressing charges for the vandalism. Apparently, I caused the person whose car I had towed undeserving stress and I should have tried to find her and asked her to move her car instead of going the nuclear option. Am I crazy here? Am I really the asshole?
AITA for asking if I could have a turn at the slack line. TLDR, I was taking turns walking the slack line for about 15 minutes with my friend and once we took a break, my GF got on. I asked if we could take turns just like I did with my friend and she got annoyed and said it wasn't fair since I was practicing for a while already. So for some context, I recently bought a slack line on Amazon and it came in yesterday and my GF and I had a plan to use it that same day. My uncle was in town and visiting, so I invited her over to my place to spend time with us and then we would then go try the slack line out after. She ended up leaving early to go home and she asked to take the slack line to set it up early with some friends. I said sure and off she went. When I met up with her and our friends after, they were just hanging out and walking on the slack line. I was excited and immediately started trying it with everyone since they were all taking turns. Me and my friend were a little bit better at this sport than the others were and we kept trying new things like walking backwards. Eventually after about 10 minutes, the others sat down to play a game on their phone kinda like imposter. My friend and I were still trying the slack line and having fun too. After about 15 minutes of just me and him on it we took a break and another person got on. I didn't get on for a little bit but was watching whoever was trying it. My GF got on and she can't really stand up on it, yet we are all beginners. But I watched her try a couple times, even cheering when she would get a step or two. After a bit I asked if I could try one time again. She looked at me with a look on her face that told me she was annoyed and felt like I was interrupting her. I thought it was normal to take turns since we only had one slack line, and I don't feel like it would have been too bad to let me go on once and then let her back on it for a couple more tries after. Instead she just got off and went to go sit down. I feel like I wasn't in the wrong, but I need more opinions because sometimes I'm dense when it comes to these things.
I miss having good teeth. I'm a teen 14, so obviously this is kind of big for my confidence and stuff. I have ADHD and depression. My ADHD causes me to not be able to be both consistent and productive. I can't brush my teeth daily or like ever. It's been months since I've last brushed them. My diet consists of sugary drinks and foods, chips, and any other junk food you can think of. I know it's not the best diet, but I'm somewhat active. I play on a football in the summer, and I'm starting wrestling once my ankle heals from the sprain. Anyway, I struggle with brushing my teeth even though I have a toothbrush and toothpaste. I keep meaning to do it, but I never do. I have 8 cavities, and my teeth are very stained. I used to have perfect looking teeth, and I mean perfect, one crooked bottom tooth, but that's it. I don't really have any memories of the last time I brushed my teeth, so it's kind of hard for me to say anything about that. My mom never had the best teeth, and I guess she never thought to teach me as a kid how to be consistent enough, or even just reminding me to brush my teeth. My entire family is neurodivergent, so that might also be a factor. I'm desperately missing my good teeth, and it's all my fault. My family's poor, so we can't get any dental help currently, and my mouth hurts like hell. Every time I tell my mom, she doesn't care. She doesn't even try to help me.
AITA for not wanting my friend's boyfriend to stay in my apartment. So she lives in another city hours away but has a commitment here every once in a while and plans to stay with me when she has to come up here. She's mentioned her boyfriend might want to come and asked if he could stay. I just shrugged it off, but for some reason, I'm not a fan of that idea. Like, there's nothing really wrong with him except that he's a bit controlling, and the few times I've hung out with them, I third wheel so hard. I just don't feel comfortable with it. Am I wrong for not wanting him to stay?
Over drawing revealing pictures of a public figure in my arts sketchbook. Hello. We've recently gotten a sketchbook from our arts teacher and they told us to draw anything we like. At the end of the year we need to hand it back and he'll have our work graded. Thing is, I really like pop stars, and right now I really like Tate McRae. I wouldn't say I'm good at sketching, but I'm pretty okay at copying what I see, so, in my free time I like to look up her photo shoots on Pinterest, pick a good photo and copy it into my book. The last sketch I drew I was pretty proud of and decided to show my friends. They 18F had a pretty negative reaction and called it creepy that I 18M am drawing Tate McRae wearing extremely revealing clothing, which was really surprising to me. Here's the shot I picked to sketch, by the way. They also asked me what the difference was between me drawing Tate McRae and me drawing Sophie Rain. Hypothetical comparison, which is a really stupid question that I didn't even bother answering. I really don't see how this is creepy at all or how this is even that deep. It's not like I'm giving any personal input. I'm just copying a famous shot from her newest photo shoot that millions of people have probably seen. I'm also not sexualizing her in any way. I'm just drawing the aesthetic I love. They also asked why I couldn't just pick any photo where she's fully clothed, and yeah, fair enough. But also, why? I really don't see the difference. The entire photo shoot consists of her wearing minimal clothing. I guess they also have a point with the fact that my arts teacher would have to see this, and that it's against social norms, but am I really that insane for not caring? I feel like if he'd been different, I might have thought twice before touching the sketchbook. So please be honest, am I in the wrong?
AITA for choosing White Elephant over Secret Santa. My husband 31M and I 30F bought our first house this year, and we're hosting Christmas for the first time. We invited both sides of the family. My parents, I'm an only child, and his mom and siblings 30F, 24M, 22M. Our families don't really know each other well, everyone lives in different cities, so we thought it would be best to do a white elephant exchange. We texted his family group chat letting them know the plan. Almost everyone was fine with it except my sis. She immediately pushed back and said we had to do Secret Santa with everyone invited because that's their family tradition. For context, per my husband, their Secret Santa tradition started because some members couldn't afford buying multiple gifts, so Secret Santa made things easier. We explained that because we're hosting both families this year, a white elephant would avoid awkwardness. We also pointed out that since we're the hosts, we should be able to decide what we are doing. She keeps insisting that we cannot make decisions over their side of the family's traditions. We told her that if they want to do a Secret Santa among themselves, that's totally fine, but not in our home while we are hosting, because it would leave my parents and us sitting there watching an exchange we're not part of. That would feel rude and uncomfortable. This is causing way more stress than it should. So, AITA for insisting we stick to white elephants since we're hosting both families.
AITA for leaving my friend's birthday dinner after she kept making jokes about me. My name's Emma25F. I'm pretty shy and not the best in big groups, but I've been trying to push myself socially. My friend Maya invited me to her birthday dinner, and it was a big group of people I didn't know. Pretty much as soon as I got there, she started making jokes about me being antisocial. Stuff like, "Everyone clap. Jessica actually came out and don't mind her, she freezes around humans." Everyone laughed, but I was mortified. I pulled her aside and quietly told her the comments were making me uncomfortable. She brushed it off and kept doing it anyway. After the third or fourth jab, I just paid for my food, told her happy birthday, and left. I didn't make a scene. Later, she texted me saying I ruined the vibe and made her look bad. A mutual friend said she's still annoyed and thinks I owe her an apology. I honestly didn't think leaving was a big deal, but now I'm second guessing myself. AITA for walking out.
Christmas is not fun as an adult. My husband's 30s family is big into Christmas gifts. They go all out on stocking stuffers and gifts. His sister's family is 6 people total, then his parents and grandparents plus one of his cousins and their kid. My family was smaller scale with gifts and you got each person 4 of us total 1 gift. I can't keep up with the cost and consumerism. Each year we end up spending at least $1,000 just on gifts for his family. His sister has 4 kids plus the 2 adults. I get frustrated that we're spending at least $50 per person and then they typically end up spending about $80 on us. It baffles me every year, and every year my husband and I say we need to set boundaries with gifts but never do. I wasn't working this year and just got a job, so I'm working on paying my debts. It's so stressful to spend money on stupid things for other people. I know they kids get so ridiculously spoiled by their grandparents that nothing we get could compare. It's happened before where I've given a gift and the kids will say, "Is that it? Or what else is there?" Christmas gift shopping has turned me into a humbug. Edit to add a quote from a local store: "It's beginning to cost a lot like Christmas."
AITA for confronting my boyfriend after finding disturbing things in his phone and calling him out on his behavior. IF24 have been dealing with a lot from my boyfriend lately. He has a habit of getting blackout drunk and acting completely different, angry, defensive, and careless with my feelings. When he's sober, he pretends nothing happened, and I'm left holding the emotional mess. Recently, something felt off, so when he passed out drunk again, I checked his phone. Before anyone jumps on me, I know checking a partner's phone isn't great, but I was genuinely worried about what he was hiding. What I found was worse than I expected. There were messages and videos he never mentioned, conversations with people he told me not to worry about, and comments that completely crossed the boundaries we had agreed on. It wasn't one mistake, it was a pattern, a double life. When I confronted him the next day, he immediately got defensive and played the victim. He said I violated his privacy, ignored what I found, and tried to twist it into me being the problem. He even acted like he didn't remember half the things he did while drunk, which is a pattern. He never takes responsibility, he just blames the alcohol. I didn't yell, I didn't insult him, but I told him directly that the drinking, the lying, the things in his phone, and the way he acts like I'm crazy for noticing all of it is unacceptable. I made it clear that I'm not going to ignore things that are hurting me. He says I'm the asshole for starting drama and digging for things to be mad about, and that I should have trusted him. But I honestly feel like I reacted reasonably given the situation. AITA for confronting him about what I found and telling him his behavior is not okay.
AITA for telling my boyfriend that I want to be paid more than half for groceries from now on. I created a burner account just to post this because he knows my Reddit. We're both mid-20s. We've been together for 3.5 years, living together for 1. I'm a bartender and work 3-4 evenings a week. He works a normal MF schedule. We make roughly the same amount and split everything 50-50, but I do work less hours than him. Monday is my grocery day. We agreed when I moved in that I would do the shopping since I can go when it's not as busy. We have a shared note on our phones where he can add things to our list. The arrangement was fine for a while, but I started to get annoyed a few months ago. The whole process of shopping, self-checkout, loading into car, unloading, and putting it all away takes at least 2 hours. Not to mention emptying the old stuff out of the fridge and pantry. I almost always have to take out the trash too. It wouldn't be as bad if I didn't feel he was unappreciative. He gets to open an app and write down requests, then I do all the work. He comes home to a stocked kitchen and pays the same amount as I do. When I've brought this up, he thinks it's only fair since I work less. Today, I had enough. The store was packed due to Thanksgiving. I texted him that they were out of something he wanted and he said to look harder. The fridge was full of leftover containers he never revisited or threw away. I texted him that from now on, he's paying more than half or we're shopping together on Sundays, our common day off that he says is for resting. He thinks I'm an asshole for this. I disagree. I may work less but I am no housewife. We split everything down the middle. Isn't it only fair that I'm compensated for doing all of the shopping every week? The only part that I believe may make me TA is that I agreed to this arrangement, but that was a year ago, and I'm burnt out. AITA for saying I want to be paid more than half for groceries.
AITA because I didn't have a reaction. My 24F fiancé 28 meters decided that for my birthday, he would get a hotel room for me. We're not having sex, but just sit and relax. I personally wouldn't have gotten it on my own for that reason, but I'm not going to stop him from doing what he wants to do for me. It took over an hour of driving through a mild snowstorm that I did to get here and I honestly just wanted to decompress. So we get to the room, and it's decorated, and as I'm turning around to thank him for putting the effort in, he's recording me. I'm extremely self-conscious about my appearance. I had no makeup on, no cute clothes, and I'm exhausted from driving. I'm literally not in the mood to be recorded, so instead of telling him thank you like I was going to, I asked, why are you recording me? Apparently that ruined everything for him and now he has an attitude because I didn't react how he wanted me to. I feel like he doesn't understand it from my perspective. I'm in my most vulnerable state only to have a camera shoved in my face. Now I feel bad because I made him upset. AITA for not having the reaction he wanted.
Wib2 if I skip my Quincy nose. So, I'm turning 15 in December. I've always told my parents F42, M44 I wanted a big 15 party. Like, in our culture, 15th birthdays are huge, basically a wedding level thing, and they've been saving for years. But in January, my grandma 68, my mom's mom got diagnosed with late stage cancer. She was super close to me growing up and basically raised me. She used to babysit me every day after school when I was a kid. I realized she might not make it to my 15, and it terrified me. I asked my parents if we could do a smaller party earlier, like February or March, just a few friends and family so grandma could actually be there. They said no. They told me it was ridiculous to have my 15 months before my birthday and that I couldn't change my mind and say I want a small party because I originally wanted a big party and they'd been saving for it. Over the year, grandma got worse. I begged multiple times to move the party up. Nothing. She passed in late October. I was a wreck and assumed the party would be cancelled. Nope. My parents said grandma would have wanted me to celebrate anyway. And now everything's booked, venue, photographer, flowers, the whole thing. On top of that, I overheard my mom arguing with my aunt about how she didn't help with grandma's funeral expenses and my mom says it was because of my 15 expenses. Honestly, if they'd just done a smaller party in February, some of that money could have gone to grandma, and I would have understood. Now I just don't even want this party. It doesn't feel like it's for me anymore. I'm seriously thinking about skipping it. They can't make me go, right? Like, they can't force me into the dress and drag me there, but I also feel guilty because they've spent thousands and my dad's family is traveling from Mexico. So, Reddit, Wib2 if I just didn't go?